Welcome to Art Walk with Cassie.
On the third floor of the Shanghai Museum's East Wing, there's an exhibition hall worth crossing town for, the Gallery of Ancient Chinese Ceramics. The show unfolds along a timeline, from the first lump of clay squeezed into shape by prehistoric hands to Qing Dynasty masterpieces so thin they'd make a cicada's wing jealous. Thousands of years of civilization, all its warmth and ambition, frozen solid in these objects. And after walking through it all, many visitors find a quiet question forming in their minds. Those rough, earthy pots at the beginning and those impossibly delicate porcelain vases at the end, are they grandparent and grandchild in one continuous family line? Or distant cousins who long ago stopped attending the same reunions? To answer that, let's start with the most basic question of all. What actually makes pottery and porcelain different? Pottery and porcelain. At first glance, both are just dirt that got fired. But beneath the surface, there's a world of difference. Pottery is made from ordinary clay and fired at relatively low temperatures, roughly 600 to 1000 degrees Celsius. Because of this, the body never fully fuses together. Under a microscope, it's riddled with tiny pores, thirsty as a sponge. Tap it with your knuckle and you get a dull thud, like knocking on a mud brick. Prehistoric painted pottery, Han Dynasty grayware, Tang Dynasty sansai, all proud members of the pottery clan. Porcelain is an entirely different creature. Its primary ingredient is kaolin, a white mineral clay, low in impurities and remarkably heat-tolerant. You need temperatures above 1,200 degrees Celsius before the body fully vitrifies, becoming dense, hard, and virtually waterproof. Give a piece of mature porcelain a tap, and it rings out with a crisp, bell-like note, as if the object itself is applauding the craftsman's labor. On top of that, porcelain must be glazed. That smooth, lustrous surface is a kind of elegance pottery can only dream about from a distance. So, did porcelain evolve from pottery? This is the question everyone can't help asking. The answer, yes, but it's far more complicated than the word evolution suggests. Porcelain didn't appear out of thin air one Tuesday afternoon. It grew out of pottery's technological womb over thousands of years, cell by cell, degree by degree. That journey breaks down into 3 critical stages. Stage 1, glaze, born from a happy accident. During the Middle Shang Dynasty, potters were firing stamped stoneware when ash from the burning wood drifted onto the vessel surfaces. Under intense heat, it spontaneously fused into a glassy sheen. That was the very first glaze, not a stroke of genius from some lone inventor, but a beautiful accident seized upon by someone smart enough to notice. From that point on, glazing gradually shifted from fluke to intention. Stage 2, proto-porcelain, the awkward in-between. By the Middle to Late Shang Dynasty, a new kind of object appeared, straddling the line between pottery and porcelain. Scholars call it proto-porcelain. Its clay was finer than ordinary pottery. Its firing temperature had climbed to around 1,200 degrees, and its surface bore a greenish glaze that hinted strongly at porcelain's future glory. And yet the body still absorbed too much water. The sintering wasn't quite thorough enough. Strictly speaking, it hadn't graduated. It was still an apprentice on the long road from pottery to porcelain. This apprenticeship stretched from the Shang Dynasty all the way through the Han, over 1,000 years. Apparently, when it comes to the leap from quantitative to qualitative change, history is in no rush. Stage 3, mature porcelain finally gets the job. In the late Eastern Han Dynasty, around the 2nd century CE, the Yue kilns of Zhejiang produced what scholars universally recognize as the first true celadon. Porcelain, at last, was officially born. A technological quest spanning millennia had finally reached its destination. So the path from pottery to porcelain looks roughly like this. Accumulated pottery know-how to accidental discovery of vitrified glaze to continuous refinement of clay and temperature leads to the long transitional era of proto-porcelain, leads to the triumphant arrival of mature porcelain. My initial instinct after visiting the exhibition, that glaze technology and raw material improvements were the key turning points, turns out to be spot on. I'd simply overlooked that crucial middle chapter, proto-porcelain, the unsung bridge between two worlds. That's where we'll pause for now. In the next episode, we'll follow pottery and porcelain as they part ways and each write their own dazzling chapter of history. Stay with me.
So much for today. I'm so glad you could make it. I'll see you soon. Take